Hi again on this beautiful day where I'm out on a walk with my children again and wanting to share something with you all that I have been thinking about for a couple of years. So I was thinking one time why Jesus included the story of the woman who poured out the alabaster box of ointment on his feet. Why did God have that included in all four gospels? There's many stories that aren't included in all four, but that one, some version of it is. I think that I have the version of Matthew open here, and it doesn't say, but I think some of the other versions say her name is Mary. I don't know, Mary Magdalene or who. I didn't check it up now. But Jesus includes that story in all the gospels and says that wherever the gospels preach, this story shall be told. And if it's that important, well, then we can talk about it today too. So I wanted to see what points we could bring out of it.
My name is Melinda. I am a happy wife and mom of 4. Thank you for joining me today as I share the things that I have learned with other busy young moms like myself.
The version I chose to read is found in Matthew 26, verses 6 to 13. Now when Jesus was in Bethany in the house of Simon the leper, there came unto him a woman having an alabaster box of very precious ointment, and poured it on his head as he sat at meat. But when his disciples saw it, they had indignation, saying, To what purpose is this waste? For this ointment might have been sold for much, and given to the poor. When Jesus understood it, he said unto them, Why trouble ye the woman? For she hath wrought a good work upon me. For ye have the poor always with you, but me ye have not always. For in that she hath poured this ointment on my body, she did it for my burial. Verily I say unto you, wheresoever this gospel shall be preached in the whole world, there shall also this that this woman hath done be told for a memorial of her. So, why would Jesus want it to be told wherever the gospel is preached? For a memorial. As I thought of it, I thought about how she gave the most precious things she had. I don't I don't always take the time maybe to study what all the meanings of all these verses or parts of the Bible are about. But as I thought of it, I realized that she gave of the most precious thing she had, everything she had, I believe. And if we would be left down to just one box of expensive perfume or something, and we choose to go and pour it on someone's feet, it would be like, I think it was something that was more culturally appropriate in their day than now, but it would be something, a sacrifice. It would probably be an act of love, of giving the last we have, because she was scolded for that it could have been sold and used for something else. Sometimes people would say about our lives, or people who are gifted, well, why do they choose to give their whole life to God, to the mission field, let's say, to serving others, when they could be used for so much? They could do so much for worldly fame, or gifted people who choose to so-called waste their lives. And yet it is not waste. And so if we consider our lives to be like alabaster boxes, the most precious things we have, if we stay closed and unbroken and keeping it for ourselves, it blesses no one. But if we allow God to break us open and we get poured out at the feet of Jesus, the scent of it, of course I'm making applications that I don't know if they're all true, but it's the thoughts that came to me when I was thinking of this. The scent of it can bless many people. And the love with which we do it can be an offering to God. Sometimes it feels like there's so much in Christianity, in our Christian lives, that's about being broken, about sacrificing, about giving. And I'll admit, even I sometimes get tired of it. Like, why can't I have it for myself? But when I think of it, in the giving, in the breaking, God has always restored with giving and blessing. Sometimes seems so hard to just give up my will and who I am and serve someone else. It's not always like that. I'm not making it sound like a drudgery, but there are times definitely. But those times when I have done it, when I've allowed my life to be broken and poured out at Jesus' feet, I've always come away blessed. God always somehow returns the blessing to us and we end up being blessed. Another thing that I've sometimes wondered or learned is the difference between being poured out for Jesus and being worn out. We're meant to, God made us to pour ourselves out for others, or He asks us to be broken and poured out. But being worn out is when you try to pour from what you don't have. When you don't have anything to pour out, it is wearing to try to come up with something to pour out. And that's where I think it comes in what I like to call soul care or self-care, or taking care of ourselves, allowing God and others to pour into our lives so that we have to pour out to others. And not just leaving what we receive tied up in our little bundle, sealed tight, just for ourselves, but for others too. So that's my encouragement for you today, to allow yourself to be filled by God's blessings and by others, but then to use that blessing poured out for others so that you can have a fresh stream supply, not something that just sits there that you hold and grows old. It's a pouring in and a pouring out. It's giving everything, allowing yourselves to be broken for God and to be able to be a blessing like that. What's holding us back from giving everything we have to God, who gives us all we need and more, and who will bless us if we allow Him to break us and to use us? Thank you for listening. Do you have any thoughts in this line? Anything that you have learned from, or observations you had that I could learn some more from this story that Jesus put so much importance on? We'll see you in the next video.